Welcome to Photoshoot 1.
Welcome to the behind the scenes footage for Photoshoot 1. The aim of this photoshoot is to use avant-garde hair and makeup to represent carbon emissions and the damaging factors this has done to the environment. When I started to think about and start researching what the common destructions to the environment are, carbon emissions was clearly an obvious long-term influence in the destruction of our planet, which I felt I could really convey through hair and makeup. From a personal point of view, when I think of carbon emissions, my thoughts immediately envision what is known as the Black Country, which is an area in and around Birmingham, and it's called this because of the smoke produced from intense manufacturing in the middle of the 19th century. An American consul referred to the area as black by day and red by night. So when I designed this look, this was the feeling that I wanted to capture, like there was a dull black cloud hanging over the model, and her body had become one with the environment, harbouring ash and soot. And this is where the vision of a gloomy and textured final image came from when representing carbon emissions. This was a demonstration using the airbrush, for which I'm creating an even white base using aqua airbrush paint in circular motions to prevent any streaking. So to create an even base, the paint must be topped up to stop it from drying out in the airbrush, and distance must be even from the airbrush to the skin, holding it at an angle like a pencil. More delicate areas around the eyes were done with sponges simply for a safety point of view, and then it can be seen that the black aqua paint is then densely applied with sponges to the centre of the patches of fuller's earth once they've started to dry and crack, and then airbrushed around the edges to blend this in with the white base. Various products were then used to really darken up the eyes, and when applying the final touches to the makeup before shooting, I love that the only colour left apart from the black and white is the model's lovely bright blue eyes, as I love the effect of her eyes being the only thing left that looks bright and looks in a way human. I asked her for the poses. I sent her a basic storyboard to ensure we got all of the angles of the makeup, but when directing her on the day, I asked her to give a direct gaze to give a sense of helplessness to the images, which I really think comes across in her direct gaze in a lot of the final images. It almost looks as though she's gazing into the camera and pleading for help. There were double layers of fuller's earth used in some of the areas to really build up the look of coal on her skin to almost look like ash left in the fire after it's burnt out. And there were various other techniques used throughout the makeup, such as using white paint on a dense brush to flick across the dark patches, which highlight the texture on camera, and then it creates an overall more 3D appearance. I really took inspiration from Alex Box when I designed this look, as she uses her senses and her feelings a lot when creating her artistry, and she does a lot of looks which are representative of nature, although she embraces the beauty of nature, and this project is more the opposite, about exploring how we're damaging nature and how we are damaging the environment. And the lack of symmetry in the makeup was deliberate when I designed the look as well, to represent the state of imbalance that we find ourselves in with our planet.